Okay, so today is the day. This has been sitting here about a week. They're coming to pick it up today. Let's get it cut to length. They decided to go no knot, so 72 inches. Let's see where we're at. I think it was 72. I'll have to check my text message. Giving myself a square line around it. Okay, give this a roll. Okay, cut that. Okay, so 72 inches. I just pulled up the 72 inches wide, 10 by 8. 72. I always put a point and make it into an arrow. Don't just put a line. Then you always go off of the point. If your line's crooked, now somebody else cutting may not know where to go to. That person will always know go to the point. And repeat all the way around the log. Back my pickup truck over, my work truck, Mango Power E. It's been in here for quite a while now, a week or so. What are we charged up to still? I haven't used it for a while. Let it load. So I'll use this for the power saw. We're at 86%. I think that's where it was whenever I put it in there a few days ago. AC on. Okay, let's get cut. Good. I lose track of time and I know I misspeak in my videos. It's Friday. I know I put it in here last Friday, so it's been in here for a week, not used, and I believe it was 86% whenever I put it in there a few days ago. So saw is set all the way to max depth. I think I need a new saw blade on that one. Alright, Diablo saw blade. Let's try this again. Back on. Well, that's better. So, before I go get a handsaw, still at 85%. You know, a couple cuts, not a big deal, but made it easier. I know I have an extension cord drug over there, but I wanted to show you this one more time. I just did a review video on it, used it quite a bit in the shop, and then down at the house for a day, used it here. We're gonna see this more on the job site. I wedged styrofoam around it, as well as under it. I did it in pieces, that way if anything gets wet in there, the styrofoam doesn't stay wet, it'll drain off. Keep this as dry as we can and keep it from bouncing around a little bit. I may throw a strap around the top. We'll see what happens. I think we're okay like that. Okay, there it is, all done. Imagine this is the top and this is the face. Sides turned out nice. I could have used a Sawzall to cut that, but I had the handsaw in the truck and it really wasn't that bad going through. So that looks pretty good. So I just used the saw, the sander, and the sander Surge 529, runs on about 400 watts. Drawing a lot of power out of there. Decent amount of power. I had a heater that was pulling 1,000 watts out before. So I'm down to 79%. And I just did all that. So it dropped, quick math, 7%. All right, shut it down. And let's get this delivered. Just in time. Morning everybody, thanks for tuning in to Conquer with the Hosses. Saturday morning, I'm up here at the sawmill. Finally, I think it's been about 6 months since I cut anything. So neighbor Jeff is here.
Morning.
Morning. So Jeff lives about, what, 20 miles from here?
Yeah.
He's thinking you have a wood
Processor.
Tell me about your processor. What is it?
I have a Yappa 365 basic wood processor. And currently I do, a lot of firewood throughout the year, but on the off times when I'm not selling firewood, just looking for something where I can mill my own boards and kind of build my own structures and, just be a little more self-sufficient.
Right. So he wanted to come over and check out the Wood Miser LX150. This is a great, easy machine. I've used it a half a dozen times and I feel very comfortable with it. It's very forgiving. First 3 logs I cut, I went through 3 blades. So I got a blade a log.
Okay.
So there are some things you just need to watch.
Okay.
And I'll point those out through you. We're going to go ahead and cut this oak up. And then we're going to maybe attempt another log. We'll see how much time we have left.
And now 150. Now what's the biggest diameter on that?
36 inch.
36 inches. And can you extend the length of this?
Yeah, you can buy extra rails and take it as long as you want.
Okay.
I believe this is 20 feet. I believe. I never measured it, but I think that's about 20 feet.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's a pretty big board.
Yeah.
So we just went along and rubbed some transmission fluid on the rails. I was just showing Jeff as we make our way around, tighten up the blade to 150, filled it up with gas, check the oil. Now we're mixing up the solution. Now this is just water and pine sol and soap. So the pine sol cuts the sap, keeps it off of the blade. So we just give it, about that much. You don't need to measure it. Just a dab in there. And then what the soap does, it keeps everything mixed. And again, just that much soap. Throw that on there, put this back where I keep them. So I just keep everything up against this wall here. We're constantly moving stuff around, but it's there when I need it. And that's a transmission line with a sprayer and a rag. So just whatever works for you, that's what works for me. Okay, so we'll get that all hooked up. Yep, exactly. Okay, so center a log to concrete, we're at 35 inches right there. Okay, so Jeff was jacking this end up, trying to get that log leveled out. I don't think we're gonna be able to get the 35, but we'll get as close as we can. So the pith is all the way up here though. It's not centered on the log. So we're going to be closer. So we're at 28. Can you get any more on that, Jack?
Okay, as he picks that up.
Like I said, we'll just get it as close as we can. You okay?
Yep.
We're at 30. We're almost at 31. If it's getting a little shaky there, let's call that good. Let me come around. This is still tight. Wedges in. That's tight.
More? Yeah.
I think we're good.
Okay.
I don't want to take this end up too high and have it wobbly on there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
That's pretty snug.
Okay. There you go. I'll give you a quick look at this. So there, the log is close to being level. It's about 2 inches out from top to bottom. So what we're going to do today, I'm trying to start quarter sawing as much as I can. That's prime lumber in woodworking, quarter sawing. So reading up on it, we want to cut this end grain so the end grain stops in the board. When you cross cut it, like right through here, I believe they call that rift cutting, and that is a tendency to be more cupped lumber, probably this way with the grain. The grain always wants to straighten out, is what I'm told. So, of course, you're going to have to cut through that. Now you rotate the log, and you want to cross cut this grain. So that's where you get those gold flakes in your quarter sawn. And it looks gorgeous. So let's go ahead and plane this top off. Let's see if this old girl will start. Let it warm up a little bit more. Of course it'll start. Okay, got it going. It was very cold. This engine's been sitting for a long time. So we'll just let it, don't stall, come on baby. Give it some throttle, we'll let it warm up real good. All right, we'll be back in a minute. All set up, ready to make our first cut. Blades tight. Remember never mind. Hang on. So make contact. Okay, Jeff. What do you think?
That's gonna be nice. That's really nice.
So this all goes on the junk pile over here. Hey, you know what I started doing? We have a pizza oven. So I'll take a power saw and I'll just cut wedges of this, feed it into the pizza oven. Super hot.
Okay.
You know? So that's what I do with, now we can't eat that much pizza. But I think there's a good market for that. You know, rather than throw all that away or just firewood, pizza oven time. So what I forgot to tell Jeff was, so we roll these logs around in the stone. So always look at them, make sure there's no gravel in the bark. Look for nails. You know, people would put no hunting signs or post, you know, anything on there. So always look at the lumber, make sure you're not cutting through anything that's going to harm that blade. What do you say we lighten this log up? We'll cut a couple of these off. We'll get a nice flat spot and we'll do a flip. So I just set it to 1 1/8 inches. hit that once, and it drops 1 1/8 inches. Now we can go ahead and cut all of our boards the same. Perfect.
Those oak logs, they get heavy. Sometimes you need bigger equipment. Alright, so we finally got that second side cut off. Now we're going to back it up, flip it up on the third side, and then we can actually start making some boards.
Okay, home stretch. This is one log. We're down to 5 inches. So we're just going to cut all the way through that. We'll see what happens with the pith. But I'll take it all the way through it. We got all of this. These slabs. And I still have a 16 by 5 inch to go. Cutting through like butter now. Back. We're still cutting 1 1/8 inches. He'll hit the down lever, preset, and cut. 1 1/8 inches boards. Okay, getting down to it. So this is one log that we started this morning, and this is all the lumber we got out of it. Like I said earlier, these slabs, we got some real nice planking, a stack full of 5 by 1 1/8 inches. A couple more to go, so we'll be eating lunch. This is some of the nicest cutting I've done so far. Nice square edges, nothing leaning. It's taken me a little while, but I'm learning. Let's do one more. One more. Last cut for today. Wood Miser LX 150. Okay. Shut off our water feed. Release the tension on the blade. Good to go. So, probably every time I cut lumber, I'm laying in bed at night thinking, I gotta go back that tension off the blade, and so try to remember to do that, down to 0. Ready to go for next time. Shut this water feed off.
Put this last board on the stack.
Yeah, please. Oh, Jeff already shut her off for me. Okay. Would the Wood Miser come down and just hover over this? I don't know. I don't want to risk it. But it seems like we could get one more cut there. But it's not worth risking it.
Probably not. We'll just
What do you think of the stack of lumber out of one log, Jeff? Isn't that amazing?
Unbelievable.
I couldn't believe, like, the first time I did this, how much lumber you get out of just a couple of logs.
It's incredible.
Yeah, and then the neat stuff you see once you take that first cut off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those live edges on that stuff. It's just fantastic.
Look at that. Isn't that neat looking?
That is. That is super cool.
Okay. All the wood cut for today. That's as much as I'm going to do. A little bit of cleanup. I'm going to get this sawdust gathered up. That goes up to my mom's house. She has a horse. I think she has a donkey or two also. So we throw that down in the stables for that. And she always asks me, I know it's just oak and maple. I guess you're not supposed to use walnut for animals. So if you didn't know that, don't use walnut. And so this stuff I cut up and use in our pizza oven. And we're also getting quite a pile over there for some firewood. If you live close to us and you need some firewood, you'd be doing me a favor. Come over. You can take some of this. We do have quite a bit of it. Probably as much as you want. I'd be willing to give to you. All right, I'm going to head down the house, grab something to eat. Hope you enjoyed this fun Saturday video. See you pouring concrete real soon.